Good morning and welcome. My name is Rob Surrett, and I'm so honored to be here today on the social track on September 1st. This is going to be amazing. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. And I am actually a top tier master fine artist for Disney, Star Wars, DreamWorks, DC Comics, and Muppets. So beyond my 60 hours a week, which I need to give those companies, I'm allowed to accept any of the jobs that come along. So here I'm going to entertain you with this beautiful Lego mosaic, which I'm going to complete from start to finish in the next 55 minutes. Feel free to send a message through the Slack if you have any questions, and I'll answer them live. Ready? Music maestro, here we go. So what I did is I started preparing this Lego mosaic using tiles. So these are made up of 1x1 Lego bricks, which are tiny. And I would not have gotten the entire Lego mosaic done if I was just placing in 1x1 Lego bricks. It would take probably over 50 or 60 hours. So I have these tiles, which I cooked up ahead of time, and we can have fun guessing what this mosaic is going to be. Actually, just backtrack 1 second here, just to make sure that, there we go, that's what I need. I bring color to your day, optimism, some cheer, as again, we turn the calendar to September. I know that we've been through a lot in the last couple of years, and my 4th presentation in the last 5 days. And I know that people are just taking a deep breath these days, right? And we've been through so much. We're still going through a lot. But my mission in life always is to uplift people. So I hope that when you join this social track today, just for a few minutes, that through the medium of Legos, that your day is brightened. I mean, here it is. People will call me a grown-up kid pretty often. As Walt Disney would say, is that child spirit in everyone? I don't think we ever really lose it, right? And something about Legos, you can just pop them in. Very satisfying, very satisfying. Okay, I don't expect anyone knows what the mosaic is yet. Go. Now I put these little Lego pieces on the base plates because when I glued the base plates to my frame, I just wanted to make sure with gravity that they didn't settle and sort of slide at all. I want to make sure that the spacing is correct, so the Legos snap into place. Hope everyone had a relaxing summer. Okay, starting to get exciting now. 51 minutes left. Let's get this masterpiece completed. I start off a little slow and careful and precise. And then I think once I get a couple of rows done, we'll get some good momentum. There we go. I feel like Bob Ross. Remember Bob Ross? I remember I used to run home in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade to watch his show, and he taught me how to paint. And as a kid, I used to dream in those 4th, 5th, 6th grade years, you know, what would I love to do for a living? And it's different from all you folks. I always thought, I just love visual art. I love colors. It's just the way my brain is wired. And I thought to myself, if I could ever work for Disney or Star Wars or Lego, I would be just about the happiest person. I majored in computer science. I have a computer science degree, and I got a computer job right out of college working for a video game company. And we created a game which was the predecessor to Guitar Hero. And it was a very similar game. We had a virtual guitar, a virtual pick. It was called, the video game was called Quest for Fame, which featured cartoon images and cartoon backgrounds with Aerosmith appearing live on top of the cartoons. And my video game company didn't make the biggest go of that as they had hoped. I think one of the reasons is because the virtual guitar cost about $85 and the video game cost about $55. And they thought that maybe one of the reasons is that it was just too expensive of a purchase. So then guess what? Guitar Hero created almost the same sort of concept, of course, put their own spin to it, and it went like through the roof in popularity. But while I was working for that video game company with my computer science background, I was so envious of my coworkers because they were all computer guys and ladies, and they loved their work so much. That's all they would talk about during lunch. And they all had air mattresses. Can you believe they had air mattresses? And they would sleep like under their desk, taking naps. Like I would come in the next morning and they'd still be there. I'm like, you guys are still here? They're like, we would work for free if we had to. They were passionate. That's what it was. They just had such passion for their job. And I thought to myself, again with the computer science degree, but my brain's wired towards visual art, I'm so envious of them. I would love to have a career where I would work endless hours. So I made it my goal to find a career which would fulfill me as much as those computer colleagues. And I worked really hard with my visual art. And it's a big tile. It's going to be very fulfilling. Watch this. All right. So I've been a professional artist now for 28 years. And I guess my big break came when I used to send out videotapes to all the major talk shows in America. And after about 4 years of sending hundreds, if not thousands of videotapes, Good Morning America called me and said, would you like to be on our show? In which I did a speed painting tribute to Martin Luther King on his holiday. And they gave me a minute and a half to speed paint a 6-foot version of Martin Luther King live on the air. And I don't know if you guys remember that. Do you remember that movie, What About Bob, with Bill Murray? And he appeared with Dr. Leo Marvin on Good Morning America. So that came to my mind as the cameras turned on, and that was live on Good Morning America. Because Bob Wiley used to be like, we're in front of millions and millions of people, millions of people, Good Morning America. And poor Dr. Leo Marvin, he froze. Do you remember that? He froze. And Bob Wiley had to save the day. That's what came to my mind when those cameras turned on in Good Morning America. I'm like, millions and millions of people are watching right now. Let's not mess up. Well, it came out so well that Good Morning America had me again 6 months later on 4th of July, where I speed painted a 6-foot portrait of the Statue of Liberty as my birthday present to America. And I just kept believing in myself. It's as simple as that. I worked really hard, but I can't call it hard work 100% because I found my passion in life, just like those computer colleagues at the video game company that slept under their desks in air mattresses all night. So then from Good Morning America, hey, does anyone have any ideas what this is going to be? I have an assistant over here. We can start to see it, can't we? but we know what it's going to be. Do you have any questions yet? Feel free to ask a question in the Slack channel. We can have fun and we can chat. So after Good Morning America, I was so lucky because they contacted me from The Tonight Show, which was hosted by Jay Leno back then. And they said, we would love to have you speed paint on The Tonight Show, but instead of 90 seconds, which you had on Good Morning America, all we have is 60 seconds. And I said to myself, I don't know if I can speed paint a 6-foot portrait in 60 seconds. I can try. So to make a long story short, I appeared on The Tonight Show and I speed painted Einstein. Don't you love Legos when it comes together like this? Watch this. Yeah, look at that. Ooh. And it's so precise. See, as a computer science major, don't we just love that precision of Legos? Now, I didn't follow a grid or a pattern. This is my own artwork where I eyeballed it. I made this up. It's got so many colors in there. I would say I have about 30 different shades of green, which Lego doesn't make 30 shades of green. I spray painted some of them because I wanted the most, realism isn't the right word, but you'll see what I mean. I wanted it to be just amazing. This is my own style of pointillism. You know, pointillism is a mosaic made of points, made of dots. And you want to hear something I think is curious? The man who popularized pointillism in the 1800s was George Surrett. And my last name is Surrett. Isn't that kind of curious? Because I have mastered this new technique of pointillism in a modern way. So we have Surrett, 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 Surrett. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. I pay attention to those things. I don't think that's a coincidence. Somehow we must be connected. I'm not saying related, but connected. So back to why I am here today is Jay Leno said I can appear on The Tonight Show, but they would only give me 60 seconds to speed paint. Oh, that's a good one right there. Jay Leno said he would give me 60 seconds to speed paint Einstein. After practicing and practicing, I could not get a 6-foot speed painting completed in 60 seconds. And I told them that. They said, well, then we can't have you on the show. You only have 60 seconds, start to finish. And I said, okay, can you give me another few days to practice? And I guess I was making the portrait in about 60 seconds, but it just wasn't then as good as I thought it would be. So they allowed me to be on the show anyhow. And if I can be honest, my rehearsal went amazing on The Tonight Show. It went amazing. It was the best 60-second portrait I had done out of the 100 ones that I practiced. I was so pleased. Jay Leno was so nice, I can't even tell you, and his staff. Good Morning America was nice too. But when it came to the actual show of The Tonight Show, I'd say my speed painting came out maybe 85% as great as I had hoped. And The Tonight Show producer, Steve Ridgway, oh, what a nice guy he was. He says, you seem disappointed. I said, Steve, the speed painting was so amazing during rehearsal, and now it's 85% as good as I thought. And by the way, I was on with Sally Field and Jesse Ventura. Jesse the Body Ventura, do you remember him? And Steve Ridgway says, you hit a home run with this. It's just that I'm a perfectionist. And again, I feel like maybe you'll understand as tech experts that you are, that I just love my precision. And when you're speed painting live on TV, in front of millions and millions of people, as Bob Wiley would say, it's hard to be precise. It's hard because paint goes flying. I got paint on the Tonight Show set, which they said is fine. They gave me such a small area. They said it's fine that it was water-based paint. They said it was a huge home run, and they said so much so, Steve Ridgway, the producer, said, Rob, we love you so much. We want you to be on the Today Show next. He said, would you like to be on the Today Show? I said, I would love to be on the Today Show. He said, we can get you on next week. I'm like, no way. So I enjoyed the Today Show so much with Kathy Lee Gifford and Hoda. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to ask my assistant, what percentage of the viewers do you think know what it is so far? Because we know what it is. Are there any questions? Feel free to ask in the Slack. I would love to chat with anyone who has any questions or who has a guess. What percentage of the audience do you think knows what this is, if you were to guess? Jacob?
I haven't seen anyone guess.
No, if you were to guess. Do you think that you can see? I mean, we know what it is.
Yeah.
So then the Today Show was excellent. They were so nice. And then the Today Show, I guess there were two versions of the Today Show, the early version and then the later morning version. And the producer of the early one said, ask Rob if he can stay one more day and be on the early version the next day. And I couldn't stay. I had other engagements, but I would have loved to have been on the Today Show 2 days in a row because it's fun and it's great publicity and it gives me, credibility and it opens doors. So then my next dream was to appear on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And she already announced that it was going to be her last season. So I said, this is my chance. I need to get on the Oprah Winfrey Show, the biggest show in the world at that time. Because from what I understand, okay, I got to stop the conversation for a sec. Watch this. Ready? This is a key tile. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. So basically, I did get invited to be on the Oprah Winfrey Show during that last season, and she was generous. She gave me 2 minutes to speed paint Einstein, whereas on the Tonight Show, they gave me 60 seconds. 2 minutes. She said, can you speed paint Einstein in 2 minutes? I'm like, that's an eternity. After getting used to speed painting him in 60 seconds. That's an eternity. What a gift. And I have to say, if anyone out there is an Oprah Winfrey fan, I liked her so much. I asked her security staff what it was like to work for her. I figured security, they'll tell you the truth. They're not going to sugarcoat anything. And I asked them all, I said, what's it like to work for Oprah? And they all did the same sort of thing. They all sort of stood up and hung their heads and they shook like this and they said, we are very blessed to work for her. And I just loved that. She did a lot of things behind the scenes that they were telling me about that she didn't want publicized. She had an art contest. She had a photo contest. She had about 800 staff members back then. And she gave every single one of those 800 staff members, she gave each one of their kids a camera, which this is probably, might have been before cell phones, to tell you the truth. This is about 12 years ago. I know we had cell phones, but what I'm saying is kids didn't have cell phones. So she gave them all cameras and she said, we're gonna have a photo contest where she rented a massive cruise ship and she brought all 800 staff members and their families for like a 10-day cruise around the Mediterranean. She said to the kids, we're gonna have a photo contest. There really wasn't a first, second, third place, but she took the best photos that those kids took and she enlarged them and she showcased them in the hallways of Harpo Studios. She enlarged them huge and beautiful frames, did a very elegant gallery. And those kids must have been so thrilled. I just enjoy that kindness aspect. Okay, key tile. And I need to pick up the speed a little bit because I gotta get this done. I was on the Oprah Winfrey Show. You might wonder, did my phone ring off the hook? It definitely did for a while. and then died down. My website got shut down because I got too much traffic. Oh, there goes Joy from Inside Out. She's one of my favorite characters. Voice of Joy. Do you all know who Amy Poehler is from Saturday Night Live, who was the voice of Joy? She used to work at the ice cream store near our house growing up called Chadwick's, where she would sing happy birthday to all the guests who were coming in to celebrate their birthday. Okay, I think now it's safe enough to assume that audience members are starting to see what this mosaic is. So then my website got shut down for the rest of the month because it didn't have enough bandwidth to handle the Oprah effect. And then eventually my website came back on, and I'm not telling this story to show off, but it's just interesting that this is the journey of a computer science major who decided to follow his passion and pursue visual arts. It always was my passion since, again, those days where I would learn how to paint from Bob Ross. My sister gave me this. One sister gave me this, and the other sister of mine gave me this, which reminds me of my hero. And then Oprah showed that episode again as a rerun 6 months later, and then my phone rang off the hook again, which was great. Here's a tiny tile, tiny 2x2. This is called a 2x2 brick with a 2x2 plate underneath. 2x2. I'm sure we have some Lego savvy people out there. Okay, let's pick up some speed. We gotta pick up some speed. I hope you're hearing my music. I can't do any artwork without music, which was key when I speed painted on those shows. And then after September 11th, I needed to create artwork in response to 9/11/2001. So what I did was I wanted to set a Guinness World Record with a beautiful theme. So I contacted Hasbro. Hasbro back then were the creators of Lite-Brite. If you're young watching this, you're not going to know maybe even what Lite-Brite is. I guess they considered it a choking hazard at some point and they discontinued manufacturing Lite-Brite. But as a kid in the 70s, everyone seemed to have Lite-Brite. I'm going to ask my assistant, do you know what Lite-Brite is? Did you have one? Look at this. Key tile. That's a good one. So I wanted to set a world record with Lite-Brite. And it's 10 feet by 20 feet. It's a world peace theme. I created a mosaic, which again is pointillism, right? Made up of dots. I created that of all the different cultures in the world, 100 faces of people around the world. There's 50 faces to the left. There's 50 faces to the right. Okay? And the 50 faces on the left are all American faces. 50 faces on the right are people from elsewhere in the world. And they're all looking at each other in friendship. That was important to me to have a world peace theme. That giant Lite-Brite mosaic, which is 10 feet by 20 feet, took me 365 days. And I did it for free. No one hired me. I did it for my own personal satisfaction. And people would say to me, why would you spend an entire year working on an artistic masterpiece where you're not even going to get paid for it? It's not even going to go anywhere. And I said, I feel called to do this. It came from my soul. It came from my heart. I needed to create it. When I have those inspired ideas and inspired thoughts, I have to create them. I have to manifest them. Otherwise, there's like a backlog. And it kind of clogs up my energy, because when I have that inspired idea, I need to create it. It needs to come out. It needs to be born. I think Bob Ross used to say similar things when he looked at the blank canvas and he had the inspired thought in his mind. There we go. So I created that world record. And if anyone's listening to my story, my narration, it's not about me. It's about, I want to inspire everyone out there. There's so much that you can draw out of life if you go deep. What I did was, I believed that my world peace light bright mosaic would bring me some nice results. And the Disney company saw me on Oprah, and the Disney company saw my world peace light bright world record. And then the Disney company went to my website and they saw a personal tribute that I did of Walt Disney. And my favorite Disney artist passed away. His name was Thomas Kincaid. Do you know Thomas Kincaid? He was known as the painter of light. He would paint bucolic cottage scenes. He also did some really amazing work for Disney. Disney contacted me and said, do you know who Thomas Kincaid is? I'm like, yes. He's like my favorite Disney artist of all time, especially his Cinderella masterpiece. And they said, did you know he passed away? I said, I did not know that because I was on his website 3 days earlier and they didn't announce that he had passed away, only in his 50s. And then I took that opening in the Disney company as one of their small handful of top tier master fine artists, where I'm not involved with movies or animation. I'm involved with painting for their fine art galleries. I got my dream of working for Disney and Star Wars, and I've done a number of Lego mosaics similar to this. Here's some fun colors. Very fun. Again, I love pointillism. It would be more boring if these were just all the same color green. The speckled effect is my style, where I think it just makes it like eye candy. It looks like candy. So again, I enjoy painting for Disney. It fulfills something very deep in me. And I wish sincerely that your work, which is so important, all you brilliant people who are attending this conference, I hope that your work fulfills you in some way also. Okay, we're doing amazing here with time. I think I need to crank up the pace just a little bit, but I enjoyed talking to you all. And again, on September 1st, I wish you all a wonderful fall season full of health, safety, prosperity, and hopefully some nice joy, color, optimism, and positive spirit. Most popular question I get asked is, how many pieces of artwork have I created? And the answer is over 20,000. I have painted over 16,000 speed paintings in my speed painting performances. I know that because I do 4 speed paintings in each show, and I've done 4,000 shows, 4,000 plus. I had a speed painting show yesterday in New York. Right when I zipped home, it was actually a very early morning show. I zipped home to my home base here in Massachusetts, and then got to see my daughter for the rest of the day, who just moved into Boston University as a freshman, right down the street. Here we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. 25 more minutes. This artwork uplifts you. So I know here on the social track, you get to take a break and reset. I saw singing bowls earlier on this social channel, which I loved. I know they have a lot of other nice things planned too, and amazing content. See, look at this. Do you feel like a kid again? I do. Good for the soul. I think it's good for the soul. We need color in our lives, right? Oh, I think I got one wrong. It's okay, I can fix it. This here. Yeah. Is that right? I'll have to fine tune that. We're getting there, we're getting there. I know what I'm gonna do. That goes there. That goes there. There. Fabulous. Again, I hope you had a wonderful summer, everyone. I know we've been through a lot. I know the world's going through a lot. But I always try to hang on to my positive spirit. When you do a mosaic like this, it's very hard to have a bad day after you begin the morning creating a colorful Lego masterpiece that puts a smile on your face. I think it's very hard to have a bad day after I get to share something like this with all of you. I saw a Lego mosaic being built in the same way, where you see I'm putting it together as tiles. I could never create 12,800 Lego mosaic. You could never create that in 55 minutes. I'd probably only get about this much done. But because I have it broken up into tiles, I saw this created at a comic book convention, and they had the Lego company create a giant, probably 15 foot by 30 foot Star Wars mosaic. And over the course of the 3-day weekend convention, and they did a nice time lapse in the end, I noticed that they had boxes and boxes of these tiles. And I put that in the back of my mind, saying that would be a great way to reveal a start to finish Lego mosaic by breaking them up into tiles. Isn't that great? It's nice. It's satisfying seeing it come together, right? I put together a lot of content on my social media channels. There we go. And I know that a lot of people say that it's satisfying and relaxing and rewarding and fulfilling to see something come together start to finish. I don't really like time lapses too much because it's a little bit synthetic. I mean, I'm a speed painter, as I was saying earlier, so I already know how to create artwork fast live. So I'm not really that big of a fan of time lapse because it's a little synthetic. It's not true to life. Whereas when I'm speed painting, I like it that they can see it in real time. Dan, I can hear you right now. This is Rob. That's okay. Okay, I gotta come over here. Why isn't that going in? Come on, Legos, work with me. Go, go, go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Remember I went to a physical therapist? I can't remember why. I think it was maybe a little bit of carpal tunnel, which I completely solved, okay? I was having tingling in my wrists from my computer and keyboard, and I had that for a few years, and I want to share with you all how they solved it. This is just for me, and again, I'm not giving medical advice, but they gave me a vertical keyboard and a vertical mouse. So instead of working like this on the keyboard, the vertical mouse and the vertical keyboard allowed my wrist to relax in a more natural position. And all that numbness went away in one day. I was at the physical therapist, who was so brilliant, so amazing. And she was having me do these strength tests with my hands, and I was kind of proud. She says, boy, you have strong artist hands, don't you? Strong artist. She goes, you have those strong artist fingers. Yeah, I definitely do, because when you do a world record of light bright pigs, you really feel like your hands are in pain for the first few days. And I thought, how am I ever going to finish this giant 10 by 20 foot, 365 day light bright mosaic if my fingertips are killing? So I thought one of two things is going to happen. One, my fingers are going to break down, whether it's with blisters or an injury, or they're going to get stronger. And that's exactly what happened. I got stronger as a result of all this artwork, giant mosaics. So I guess I was lucky. We're doing great. 18 more minutes. We're doing awesome. Okay, what else can we talk about? It's September 1st, and I here am in my home base in Massachusetts, where we have the seasons, which come cold winter, a lot of people who are not the snow skiing, snowshoeing lovers, they'll say, what are we doing here in New England these winters? And then I know a lot of people who enjoy the change of seasons. It's sort of a reminder that, okay, we're starting anew. It's not always the same temperature every day, even though I would love to live in a warmer climate. Here we go. How fun is this? If anyone's tuning in, my name is Rob Surrett. I'm a master fine artist for Disney, Star Wars, DreamWorks, DC Comics, and Muppets. I think what I'm gonna need is let's see. Let me see if I can figure this out right here. It looks good, but I think I need to fine tune this a little bit. It's looking awesome. So if you're tuning in, I hope this uplifts you a little bit. Put a smile on your face. Okay, I'm going to show you what I did. If you noticed, I don't use the standard Lego colors because it doesn't give me enough color. So what I do is I place all these tiny 1x1 bricks on this giant base plate, and if you notice, I spray paint them and I blend the colors. So what we have down here is lighter sky blues, which blend into the darker midnight blues. I think I probably used about 5 different colors of spray paint there. Now, Lego purists might say, that's cheating, but that's the way I create my pointillism mosaics. There's so many different versions, there's so many variations of color. I'd say there's 15 different greens in there. So I think I'm gonna have an extra little spot right here. I need to fill that in, that's no problem because I still have all different kinds of Lego plates. Here are my sky blues. Here's where I maybe get colors for the sky. 15 minutes left. I love it. 15 minutes left. I'm wishing you all a fabulous convention, and thank you for all you do. to make this world a better place. Always admiring people who are super smart, using their talents. And I love people who push themselves, you know, to be all you can be. So if you're tuning in, I hope this cheers you up. I actually set 7 world records. The very first one I was just explaining was made out of light bright pegs. And then what that led to is I said, me getting a job at Disney as one of their top tier master fine artists. And then from Disney, then they bought Star Wars. So I started painting masterpieces for Star Wars. Oh, you know what I need is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to ask my assistant. I need a plate, which will be eventually 1 by 10. So if you want to get me like maybe a 6 and a 4 plates in the white bins. No rush, no rush. We have 13 minutes. This is going to be so nice. So my first pointillism world record was light bright. And then my second one was a pointillism mosaic made of crayons, 30,000 crayons. And the next pointillism mosaic was a world record of gumballs. It was an international art contest for Ripley's Believe It or Not. Thank you to my wonderful assistant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, check it out. It's a 1 by 10 plate. The real thin Lego pieces are called plates. And the thicker ones are called bricks. And the plates that are smooth on the top will be called tiles. So, okay, we got this all set. That's perfect. Perfect. I love it. So Ripley's Believe It or Not organization had an international contest, which was right up my alley, okay? You had to create artwork out of household pieces of something, whether it was paper clips or Post-it notes or nuts and bolts and screws, odds ends. That's what it was. Create artwork out of household odds and ends. So I saw Taylor Swift on TV, and I just know that teens, you know, they love her. And I thought to myself, why don't I create a pointillism mosaic of Taylor Swift made out of bright, shiny gumballs, right? Because kids love to chew gum, and it sort of matches that demographic. So I ordered cases and cases and cases of gumballs. And similar to my Lego technique here, where I have to spray paint Legos to get me the precise colors that I need, I had to spray paint the gumballs because they didn't have black. I needed black to create a portrait. See, you definitely need black in those areas that just need to be so dark, like the centers of their eyes or the shadows underneath their hats or the mustaches. So I had to spray paint gumballs, and my kids were a little younger back then, and out next to my studio is a basketball hoop. And my son had his friends over playing basketball. And outside, I heard one of the kids, who was probably 6th grade, he sees plates and plates of black gumballs. Now, don't forget, they're spray painted. And he goes, Christian, he says to my son, what are these? And I hear my son say, I don't know, gumballs? And then I go running out. I go, don't eat them, don't eat them. Spray painted gumballs. Wouldn't have been good. So I have to be careful of that. So it was a contest. Ooh, how awesome is that? How awesome is that? 10 more minutes. So when I created that mosaic of Taylor Swift, oh, I have a picture. Do you want a picture? Look, this is a little mini picture of it. I just happen to have it here. The actual gumball mosaic was probably about 7 feet by 7 feet. But this is a little mini that I have here on my shelf. Do you see the gumballs? I just took a photo and made a print. That's my Taylor Swift gumball world record number 3. And there was a contest where we needed people to vote in. And I was really fortunate. I came in first place and I got a lot of money from that. And now it is in a Ripley's, believe it or not, museum in the Netherlands on permanent display. I have a Jessica Simpson light bright mosaic masterpiece at a Ripley's museum in Panama City, Florida. I have a Justin Bieber light bright mosaic in a Ripley's, believe it or not, museum in Palm Beach, Florida, maybe. And then I have, let's see, what else did I create for them? Rihanna, I have a Rihanna light bright mosaic for Ripley's, which is in Ocean Park, Maryland. And then my fourth world record, so my first world record was light bright, world peace, 9/11. Second one was a crayon masterpiece with 30,000 crayons. And the subject matter here in New England was Tom Brady. People went so crazy. And I loved it because the Patriots came to the school who assisted me in the project, and they gave every single kid in that school, there's probably about 600 kids, a team photo, and they got all kinds of swag, you know. Third world record was the Taylor Swift gumballs, which I just showed you. Fourth one was Nicki Minaj. I created a pointillism mosaic made out of, I think it was 6,000 lipsticks. 6,000 different colored lipsticks. Again, I even needed black. I need black lipstick for the shadows. Okay, so I need to fill in this little area here. And I think I still have the correct colors. 8 more minutes, just on time. Okay, I have to ask my assistant if I can have, please, a 1x4 plate. For those of you who want to learn a little bit about Legos, these are Lego bricks. It's called a brick because of the height. That's a 2x4. That's a 2x4 brick. This mosaic is mostly 1x1 bricks. Now what I'm getting here in a minute is going to be a tile, which is thicker than this. This is a base plate, very thin. A tile is going to be a little thicker than that. So no rush, we still have 7 more minutes. So if you ever in, I'm trying to think where my Nicki Minaj lipstick, Nicki Minaj lipstick mosaic. I'm trying to think where that is. It's definitely in a museum somewhere. This is a one, I need one more of these, which is a 1x4 plate. It's called a plate. It's a Lego plate. And if it was shiny and smooth on the top, it would be called a tile. Okay, so let's fill this in. But it's really fun when I have people who maybe know me and take a picture of any of these mosaics, which I have in museums, I guess all around the world, and they'll show me a photo of them next to the creation, because I guess maybe my name is next to it, and they'll be like, I know him. And that makes me really happy. I did a Zoom art show recently for school kids in Indonesia. And I absolutely love that. I said, what's the language barrier going to be like? They said, most everyone will understand. They were the most amazing kids in Indonesia. I also had a art show, which I did in Switzerland. And I loved it. It was this very unique part of Switzerland. We're way up in the corner of Switzerland. This school was located where I would say 100 yards one way, you could be in France. 100 yards the other way, you would be in Germany. What a unique part of Switzerland. I would love to visit there in person. But that was a nice art show, which I did through Zoom. I had a nice one in Hawaii, California, Idaho. I guess that was what you call, I call a blessing of COVID. 5 more minutes. Okay, I need to get this part done right here, where I need, let's put in that 1x4 plate. You notice I put this here as a what do we call that, an Easter egg? I don't know if you tuned in at the beginning trying to figure out what this mosaic was going to be. I put that there as an Easter egg. A little bit of foreshadowing. But I want to say thank you for tuning in. I hope that maybe this cheered you up, maybe just brought a smile to your face. You all do amazing work, and I wish I could meet you in person. But I just want to congratulate you for all that you do. I hope you have a great conference. I hope it inspires you. Again, my name is Rob Surrett, and I've been a professional artist for 28 years. I'm a top-tier artist for Disney, Star Wars, DreamWorks, DC Comics, Muppets, and after the 60 hours, which I need to give them per week, I'm allowed to accept other jobs, and the variety is just good for the soul. Good for the soul. So I'm so happy to be here today, hopefully cheering everyone up, putting a smile on your face, making you feel happy about life and maybe fulfilled, maybe inspired. Everything I do is to uplift people. All my artwork has the same theme. It's to uplift people. You'll see some of the artwork I have. I used to have the license through Disney to paint Pixar art. And then the group of us artists, we then no longer were able to paint Pixar art. So that painting of Joy, that's an original painting. It's just here in my studio, which I'm actually happy about that. Okay, got a couple minutes left. I have to fine tune that. I have to fine tune down there. Look at this. This is an area which I guess I missed. We can do that very, very quickly. Oh, I need to ask my assistant. Oh, we have a question.
Somebody asks, where is your Nicki Minaj lipstick mosaic?
Where is my Nicki Minaj lipstick mosaic? I'm going to ask my assistant, can you go on your phone to amazingheroart.com? I'm going to answer that within the next 60 seconds, depending on how fast my assistant is. If he goes to amazingheroart.com, that's my website, in the top menu, are you there, Jacob? Tell me when you're there. I'm going to tell you where that Nicki Minaj lipstick mosaic is. It's on permanent display. It's giant. It's about 7 feet by 7 feet. And at the end of this, in the next 3 minutes, I can put a link in the Slack chat, and you can see a picture of it. Okay, you're on amazingheroart.com. Now, what I want you to do is click on Info in the upper left. Is there a menu upper left called Info? Go to Info, and then you're going to want to hit back. You're going to hit forward arrow because there's a bunch of pages there. And you're going to see a little thumbnail, which is going to say Nicki Minaj lipstick mosaic. A minute 43. This is exciting. If we don't get that link, if we don't get that answer within the next minute 43, I'm going to include that in the Slack chat. It might be on like the 4th or 5th page. You're going to see a face of Nicki Minaj, and she has a lot of bright pink lipstick and the bright pink purple hat. It'll say lipstick mosaic. Okay. Oh, he sees it. Okay, my assistant sees it.
It's in a Maryland museum.
It's in a Maryland museum. Does it say where? Where in Maryland?
I'm not sure how to find it.
If you click on it, is it going to give you a description page? "55 seconds. I love it. Look, I made this out of Rubik's Cubes. Makes me very happy. I got a few of them here in my studio. I love it when people come from all over the country to see my art studio, and they just see all kinds of things just make me happy. I just do these things for my own personal satisfaction. Rubik's Cubes. It really cheers me up. I don't know what else to say other than I feel like these things are good for the soul when they cheer you up. 20 seconds left. This is Rob Surrett. I'm a top tier artist from Disney, Star Wars, DC Comics, DreamWorks, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I hope this mosaic, which we did from start to finish, in 55 minutes. There's 5 seconds left. Have a wonderful conference. Thank you so much for inviting me. I wish you all nothing but the best.